and 3 suck? And the answer to that question is, well, not really. It's a pretty solid game. In fact, it runs really well on my computer, even though my computer kind of sucks. But anyway, what gives? Well, let's see, where do I begin with the gameplay? Let's see. The gameplay is pretty much like what you expect it to. I mean, it's Diablo. You have two buttons that you can use. You have your left click and you have your right click. Your left click builds up your resources, and in the case of my monk, it's spirit. And then right click spends all your spirit. If you look down at the bottom, I have an action bar. The action bar has got 4 buttons on it, and the first one is my heal. The second one is an AoE. The third one brings mobs to me, and the fourth one is my passive armor buff. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, a lot of the game is just AoE. But one thing that's really nice is that you no longer have to worry about accidentally messing up your character because you didn't spend your skill points somewhere. Like, you have access to all of your skills, and you can pretty much build up your character however you like. In terms of this game, it's more like you have your skills, and then there's runes that you can choose from, and those runes enhance your skills. So depending on how you want to play the game and what you are comfortable with, you can build your character exactly how you want. And another thing that's been moved from the game from Diablo 2 is you no longer have to worry about spending skill points. So it pretty much takes the whole idea from World of Warcraft, where you get all your stats from your gear. So all you really have to do is get the right gear, and which isn't that difficult actually. In terms of the monk, the main stats for the monk are dexterity and endurance. If you stack dexterity and endurance, you will do a lot of damage and you will not die, which is exactly how my character is. And speaking of stats, here's me showing off some of my stats. And I have he's got 54% damage reduction, so he's a bit of a DPS tank. And there's me showing off some of my gear. A lot of this I've already replaced, but yeah, you can see how there's dexterity and vitality on a lot of my items. And in my gem slots, I've got those emeralds. The emeralds add to dexterity, so it's always a good idea to use those. And yeah, you pretty much want to just stack your main stats. And as for that, how's the story? The story's okay. It's there's some parts of it, as for me as a diehard Diablo fan, are a bit irritating, but I can overlook that because well, it gets interesting. It does get interesting. I mean, there's some parts of the game where I really didn't see where the story was going, but for me, some of it is just a little frustrating, and I don't understand why they did what they did. And overall, this is a pretty good game, but my biggest complaint about it is whenever you get a legendary, you have to stop playing, go back to town, and use the Book of Cain, which is basically your only scroll of identity. And I mean, that's kind of, I don't even know why they put it in the game, because everything else in the game is identified, so why even put that in there? It's just something that stops the game and makes you go back to town. I mean, sometimes that's okay because you got too much stuff and you need to disenchant it, and Yeah, yeah, that's another thing too, is a lot of this is just any loot that you don't need. Like, for me, I found most of it I wasn't using. Instead of allowing it to take up space, you can go to your craftsman. Like, I go to the blacksmith and salvage everything, and I have a lot of mats that I have access to, and those mats come in handy later on when you make ults. So as you're leveling up your ult, you can make rares and gear for your ult. So if you're not lucky finding anything from the mobs, it comes in handy. And yeah, I have them all maxed out except for now, like, I have to use some kind of weird currency in order to level them up now, and I haven't gotten that far in the game to do that. So yeah, some of the level scaling for gear is weird too. Like, some of it, you don't get anything new for like 20 levels, which is kind of frustrating and stupid. But I guess it's doing that because it expects you to mostly go out there and grind out monsters. And I mean, that's pretty much what I have been doing. It's just frustrating if you aren't getting the drops that you want or need. And yeah. Anyway, here's me fighting some elites. And when you're playing in hard mode, occasionally these elites can be pretty hard to kill. Like, these guys aren't hard, but like some of the hardest ones that I have found personally are the ones that do the freezing, the ones that freeze you in place. And particularly on the monk, I don't know why I have such a hard time with them, but on the monk, I end up getting stuck a lot, and I can't run away, so I just end up getting frozen. And then when I get frozen, I can't heal, and if I can't heal, then I die. And that's about really the only time I ever die in the game is when I'm frozen. But yeah, aside from that, it's pretty hard to die. And as you can see here, lots and lots of AoE, things are dying. And the nice thing about this game that keeps it interesting is the more monsters you kill, the larger the bonus that you get from, or bonus experience that you get in the game. So it encourages you to go out and find big or large groups of monsters and kill them and get lots of experience. Makes leveling a little bit more interesting. And let's see. Here's me taking on some undead, which die pretty quickly. And right now what I'm doing is I'm saving Deckard Cain. And this is my second playthrough through the game. Right now Bus Uncle is level 56, but when I was recording this it was level 54. And as you can see, I'm fighting an elite monster here. And you can see how my health isn't dropping. And that's mostly because of the Templar. Yeah, like, you have 3 companions that you can choose from. You can choose the Templar, the Scoundrel, and the Enchantress. The Templar is your melee guy, he's your tank. The Scoundrel is ranged, and the Enchantress, depending on the weapons that you can give her, like you can give her a 2-handed axe, can be a melee / mage ranged, magic range. But I found myself not using them, mostly because I couldn't find any gear for them. And not only that, but the Templar, he's got a passive heal buff that heals you whenever you're around him, and he also has an active heal that he can use to come in and save you. So I find those things to be more useful than whatever the other 2 bring to the table. But I'm sure they're better at killing large groups than the Templar. The Templar is just kind of not very helpful for anything else other than healing. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also be sure to follow my blog as well. I haven't really written anything new aside from I've done the Diablo 3 review, and this video is part of it. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll just go ahead and stop the video here.